Hello everyone and welcome to a fast-paced evening here on SimTV. I'm Kyle Heyer here with Finian DeCuna. And Finian, this race is already quick-paced. We got two heat races this evening, 50 laps, 20 trucks apiece. I think we only have 15 entered right now. But we have two heat races here at Knoxville for the 8th round of the 2018 Nathan Young Designs Truck Series. And this is going to be a quick one tonight. So we're already gridding and ready to roll here for this 50-lap heat race. And we're going to see quite a few drivers get knocked out of this one, Finian. So tell me a little bit about dirt racing. We were here at Eldora a few weeks ago, and the heat racing was eventful and lots of carnage. So tell me a little bit about what heat racing is like with these big trucks.
Well, honestly, it's just a lot of chaos, a lot of beating and banging. These things are really, really hard to drive. I was in a practice session earlier with these guys, and it was really hard for me to try to drive. And I'm not really a proficient dirt race, but I think I had decent car control, and I just could not, for the life of me, figure out how to drive these things. So these guys have a lot of talent, and I think they're going to show it here tonight.
All right, so we're rolling off, and your starting grid is on the left-hand side of your screen there. Michael Whitley in the 94, Matt Hackathorn in the 44 making up your front row. The 83 of Johnny Thomas is in third, next to Chad Brown in the 64 in fourth. And Peter Short rounds out your top five. And again, Peter Short was one of those drivers that was a real threat to win at Eldora. And definitely a challenge here tonight at Knoxville. Very similar to Eldora in a lot of ways, but also very different. A lot of these tracks differ in quite a few ways. And this is I believe, another half-mile racetrack. And it's going to be a fun one here this evening, Finian. So as the trucks roll through their first of two pace laps, we're going to bring the field around. We got 15 trucks entered, which is a little bit less, and I'm going to have Finian check because I just got out of work about 10 minutes ago, and I'm getting myself filled in here, but we got to check and see how many trucks qualified to the feature. Is it 10 or 12, something like that? Finian can check on that for me. So while we're rolling here, take note of a couple other drivers in the field. Corey Lindsay not gridding. He is a staff member for Nathan Young Designs Truck Series, so he is not racing here tonight in that number 25. So green flag is in the air here at Knoxville, and we're racing for the first of two heats here this evening. Already Matt Hackathorn looking real racy on that outside in that 44. And behind them we got, trucks all over the place. There's Frank Sims the fourth in that number 75. He was way out of the groove there a second ago.
Yeah, I saw Hackathorn try to work that outside line. It just doesn't seem to be working for him. The inside line seems to really be the preferred line for these guys.
Side by side for the lead, Johnny Thomas in the 83 Chevrolet to the inside, taking the lead away from Michael Whitley in that number 94. Kurt Crum in the 11. He's another one that started out Eldora. Didn't really work out too great for him in the early stages, but back here again this evening. Matt Hackathorn dropping quickly from that second starting position. Look at all these different lines. This is a great looking racetrack. These trucks super wide off the corners and making every lane work, and Whitley's in the wall. Bounced off it a little bit, but no harm, no foul. Look at the dirt flying off the noses of that number 94. That is spectacular to watch.
Yeah, one real mover so far is the 46 of Kyle Hanshaw. He's doing a great job. Started in 8th. He's working to try to get 5th right now from the 94.
And number 46 Toyota working his way forward early. Started 8th, already up 3 spots.
And notably, while these guys have been battling out here, the 83 of Johnny Thomas is just checked out from the rest of these guys.
Absolutely. Look at that lead from above in the blimp cam. Just absolutely astonishing the lead he's gotten in the opening laps here. We work our way through lap 5. Look at that gaggle of cars behind him. Peter Short moved up to 3rd. And there's that 46 of Kyle Hanshaw continuing to move forward. And it looks like Matt Hackathorn has stopped and slide backward, and he's still sitting there in P4.
Yeah, we were talking about big movers, and even bigger movers, the 03 of Wade Lear. He's moved up from 12th position, and he's riding around in 6th right now.
Wade Lear had a troubled day at Eldora, got himself into a little bit of trouble and a couple accidents, but persevered, and here he is running 7th in this heat. Hanshaw takes over 4th from Matt Hackathorn. Up front, Kurt Crum has tracked down the leader, Johnny Thomas. He's looking to get back up here. into this fight, riding on board with him now.
Yeah, the last time by, there were Kurt Crum was 4/10 faster than Johnny Thomas. That time by, almost 6/10 faster. So Kurt Crum is in a hurry.
The speeds here, as we're watching him work his way down the straightaway, they're 100 miles an hour is where he peaks out. And underneath 70, 68 miles an hour, the low speed in the corner. Real slow progress around here at Knoxville Speed. We got one in the wall up there, and that's in front of the leader. That looks like that's, is that Frank Sims the fourth? It is! He slides down in front of the leaders, up over the berm, and into the inside wall. He's going to be off the track. I think that's it for him. Good job getting out of the way. But we have a battle for the lead, and it's Johnny Thomas and Kurt Crum. Oh, we just jumped right into it, didn't we? And Crum looks to the inside, sliding that number 11 truck down to the inside. He's going to clear him off turn 2 there. Heading down into 3.
Yeah, the inside...
Go ahead.
Oh, sorry, you're saying?
I was just say Johnny Thomas heads back down to the inside to try to get that spot back, but can't quite do it now, looking to the outside on turn 4.
Yeah, I think the inside's where these guys are going to really make up ground and make passes. The outside is just not working for anyone tonight.
And as we talk about the outside, Peter Short slides wide, and here comes Kyle Hanshaw, that number 46 to the inside. He's going to take the slide job and complete that pass off turn 2. What a great move. Lots of action all over the place. Matt Hackathorn has continued his slide backwards now. 8th, and he's actually about to be overtaken for and sent back to 9th by the number 94 of Michael Whitley, who's also slid backwards, though the front row not doing so great early in this race. Lots of dirt flying all over the place. Chunks of mud and particles all over, but Johnny Thomas has kind of lost touch with Crum already. Crum absolutely astonishing us in that lead, and we've known him from the Scars Audi Cup and also a couple appearances in the Ferrari Challenge. And Kurt is definitely a talented race car driver, but I wasn't really sure that he was so great on dirt, but here he is leading the race by 1.1 seconds. We got a caution, and it looks like that is Frank Sims the fourth that might have triggered that. And that is him in the number 75, that green Toyota right there. The caution is out. We've made it 14 laps. Caution flies. Let's go take a look at the replay. Here's a replay of the number 75. We'll see if this is what triggered the yellow. Off of the final corner, just, yep, bounced off the wall, spun it, looped it. And that is a very dangerous spot to be sitting on the exit of turn 2. And good job getting out of the way once again. So Frank Sims struggling early in the going, but has done a nice job keeping himself out of the way of the leaders. All right, so 15 laps in, we get a nice good look. I love those bloom effects on that pace truck. iRacing's recent Season 3 2018 build has come out and blessed us with beautiful enhancements to this racing simulator, and it looks amazing. Right on board with the nose of the number 11. That's your leader, Kurt Crum. Completing lap 15 here at the Knoxville Raceway. And already getting the 1 to green symbol, so quick yellows here this evening. So after this race, we will go to a quick break. We'll be right back with you for the second heat, another 50-lap race, and then we'll be back for, I believe, Finian, it's a 100-lap feature tonight, just like Eldora, and Eldora put on one heck of a show, and I expect this to be much of the same. So as they work their way through turn 2, we'll set the stage for you. Your running order is on the left-hand side of your screen. Kurt Crum, Johnny Thomas, Kyle Hanshaw, Peter Short, and Richard Hines, your top 5. And pace truck pulls off. The green flag is back in the air here at Knoxville, and they are already looking 3 wide in the back just a little bit. And Crum's going to take that inside groove. Here comes Kyle Hanshaw to the inside. That's a tricky line to make work.
Yeah, Crum got a really poor entry into the corner, and it looks like the 83 is going to take advantage of that.
Looking from above at the craziness. We're 3 wide. Peter Short's going to stick it up the middle. But he's loose. Can he make it stick? No, he can't. He's going to lose that spot to Kyle Hanshaw, who is coming forward in a hurry. Peter Short, another one of those drivers that, whoa, maybe a little bit of contact there with the 83. If there wasn't contact, it was awful close, and off turn 2, there was still 3 wide. Now they get it sorted out, but Peter Short, another one of those drivers that started a little deeper than perhaps he's used to, especially after Iowa started right out up front. And so far, so good tonight for him. Looking to the outside now for Peter Short. I've noticed, Finian, one of this trademark looks to this racetrack, more so than Eldora, is you kind of have to flick the car into the corner. Tighter corners than Eldora, longer straightaways just by a little bit. So you kind of have to flick the truck in rather than kind of gently coast it in. You see a lot of that right-left sliding. We'll take a look at it watching this battle. Oh, a little bit of contact there between the 46 and 22, but watch them flick the car to the right and then back to the left as they enter the corner. Pretty unique way to drive Knoxville Raceway.
Yeah, you would think that Eldora and Knoxville are pretty similar just looking at them, but they drive completely differently.
So Kurt Crum out in a safe lead, 1.4 seconds, but behind him a battle for second. There's Kyle Henshaw on the 46 around the outside of Johnny Thomas in that 83, and that 46 Toyota has been rolling forward ever since the drop of the green flag here tonight. We're almost halfway through this race, and we've seen a lot of comers and goers here. Now Johnny Thomas fighting off the 22 of Peter Short.
Yeah, Short is aggressively using the inside line.
Right down. And there's actually a really big berm down there, Finney. It's probably, what, 2-3 feet high. And you get up on that, it really upsets the truck. And you can see Peter Short riding right on the edge of that berm there and making good use of it. Just to go back to the pack just a little bit, there's Wade Lear creeping into this battle, but behind him, Jordan Teal in that number 33. That Kane's One Love Toyota working his way through the field. And behind him, Richard Hines in that 87, another one that we saw extremely competitive at Eldora. And there's Michael Whitley, who's your pole sitter, currently running in the 8th spot. And then behind him, the 64 of Chad Brown. And Matt Hacklethorne has slipped all the way to 10th. And then Louis Salmaso, Rusty Webb, and Frank Sims 4th, not having great runs here this evening. Look at Wade Lear sliding that truck, that Adidas. I believe that's a Chevrolet there. Indeed it is. That Adidas Chevrolet, he's hanging it all out right up against that wall on the exit of turn 2. Pretty spectacular to watch. So we're going to cross the halfway point here as Kurt Crum works his way down the back straight and heads toward the start-finish line, or actually, I believe that was the front straight, actually. And we'll complete lap 25, so we're halfway through this heat race. Got about 9 minutes left if it stays green. And we got a battle for second back on. Johnny Thomas has caught the 46 of Kyle Henshaw.
We got a car on the inside, 75.
That's Frank Sims the 4th again. Oh, sitting still on the inside there. Oh, gonna back it up into the groove. Don't do that. That's gonna get you in trouble. And he gets it off the racetrack. Again, he is really struggling to drive around here tonight. Got a feel for Frank Sims. That truck is beat up, too. Peter Short closing on Johnny Thomas. Look at how sideways these trucks are.
Yeah, he's really just throwing the truck into the corner and letting it stick.
And looking out the rear spoiler of Johnny Thomas in that 83. And it's amazing how far to the right. I mean, usually turning right at ovals is generally a bad thing, but not tonight. It's going to be, turn right to go left. The whole cars thing might not be so inaccurate now, but working our way through lap 29. And Finian, one thing I've noticed just a little bit is that the groove is slowly starting to work its way up the racetrack just a little bit. You can see them kind of running on, or wow, Short sends it in for he just sent it way in deep. Got right up against the wall at that Kansas City Southern Tundra. Made up a lot of ground. But as I was saying, the groove has moved up. But you see Peter Short running down. He's really trying to get that bottom groove to work. You see him bouncing over the berm again. But that middle section of track really dried out, really kind of polished off. And not a whole lot of grip in the center.
Yeah, I think the dirt's just so packed down on the bottom. These guys just naturally go up the track looking for more grip. And I think it really just was not useful earlier on in the race, but as the run's gone on, these guys have slowly migrated up towards the track.
You see the number 4 of Luis Almaso chasing down Matt Hackathorn, and Matt Hackathorn, another driver that I would have expected to stay up front where he started, and this has just not been a great night for him so far.
Oh, and Peter Short's worked around his 83.
Oh, side by side. That's his for third, and it looks like he's going to clear him. The 83 is going to send it down to the inside and really try to... I can't even get a camera to look at these guys. They're so far apart on the racetrack. But 83 is going to have to give that spot up, so Peter Short moves himself up into the third spot. Kurt Crum still out front by 1.2 seconds, not missing a thing up there. You know, Jordan Teal in that 33 is also moving forward. Started 7th, is running 6th, so he hasn't passed that many trucks, but he's definitely closing in on that 03 of Wade Lear, that Adidas Chevrolet right in front of him. Relatively clean race so far. The only truck that's really had a lot of trouble is that 75. But everybody else has kept it going the same direction for the most part. And Vinny and I took this this combo for a spin earlier today just to get an idea of what this would be like. And it seems a lot grippier than Eldora. So definitely a little bit easier to drive, but it makes for some really, really good racing. Here comes Peter Short looking for second now on the rear of Kyle Henshaw.
Yeah, Peter Short just come alive in this all of a sudden. It seems like he hit the turbo button and it's all over him.
You can see, watching out from the rear of Kyle Henshaw, you can see Short working that steering wheel back and forth, left and right. Here goes to the outside. Oh, he's going to get into the back of the 46 just a little bit, but can he hold on? He definitely does. And he's going to drive away from Short just a little bit for the time being, but aggressive racing by that 22, but that's what's it's going to take. And the 83 really sent it in deep there. Did he get into the wall? Might have, just a little bit with that right side.
And just got a note from Race Control. The 75 has been told to park it for tonight.
All right, so 75 of Frank Sims out of the race and will not make the feature. See the 83 dragging the right side up against the wall, so thanks for that tidbit there, Finian.
Ooh, and here comes Peter Shorter on the outside.
Looking for that run on the 46. Contact between the two. Their door slamming down the back straightaway. Or front straightaway, whatever one they're on right now. Looks the same. It's like Bristol to me. Looks like Short's going to complete that pass. A little bit of damage. But Johnny Thomas is going to get a crack at Kyle Henshaw once again. Wow, Thomas running way up. Oh, you see a little bit of the cushion developing up there. Another new iRacing feature that was just added in the last build, where that dirt builds up there, the more drivers throw it up against there. You see Johnny Thomas using it to his advantage to drive right around the outside of Peter Short. Or, excuse me, Kyle Henshaw on that 46.
Yeah, it really just shows how, like, earlier on in the race, the inside line was the preferred line. Now it's completely useless to these guys as Johnny Thomas gets into the wall.
He bounced off it a few times, but not very hard. And he's going to give that spot back up for now. He's trying to get back where he started in that third position. Nothing's changed out front. Still Kurt Crum, Peter Short, separated by 1.5 seconds. But this is the battle that we're watching here with Johnny Thomas and Kyle Henshaw. Thomas right up against that wall. And you see Kyle Henshaw has also moved up. Maybe he learned a thing or two from watching Thomas make that top groove work. And also behind him, Wade Lear also kind of rim riding the Larson line around the top. Pretty spectacular watching the different lines develop as this race goes on. Very strategic. Johnny Thomas really got into the wall there. Oh, he's stuck up on the cushion, but he gets it off. They got to be careful. He jumped the cushion there and just knocked himself right into the wall, and that'll cause quite a bit of damage there. Might wreck your steering, so you got to be real careful about jumping that cushion. But there he is, right back up against that wall, not afraid to use it. Spectacular stuff from Johnny Thomas. Oh, meanwhile, up front, Finian.
Yeah, I was just about to say, Peter Short is caught up to Kurt Crum. Honestly, I want to inspect what the hell's in that fuel tank, because there's something in there.
Peter Short has driven forward. Started 5th and has worked his way up to 2nd. He's going for the lead. We're watching from above. Crum takes the middle. Short's going to run around the high lane. 8 laps to go. It'll be 7 here in a minute. Oh,
I'm noticing some lap trucks ahead, so they might come and be a factor into this.
That's the number 88 of Rusty Webb. Looks like he's just going to get out of the way. Good move from Rusty Webb. Oh, man, there's just some tight racing. 7 laps to go in this heat race. Short now tries the bottom lane. Now looks back to the top, but Crum goes up to block him. They're both right on the edge of grip up there on that cushion. It was just spectacular racing here in Heat 1.
I feel like Peter Short's going to give a bumper or a door just about now. They are running out of laps.
He's giving it a little bit earlier. He's not afraid to use that chrome horn on the nose of that number 22 Tundra, but here he comes. 6 laps to go. Oh, running as high up as you can without knocking that tail into the wall. There he goes around the outside.
Wow, there was almost no gap there.
That was a power move, but can he make it stick? We're 5 laps to go, and Crum still has the inside. Crum's going to throw it in there deep, up on the berm. He's going to slide up in front of the 22. Contact. The 11 spins out. He loses it. Caution is out.
And I think that's all she wrote.
Wow. Peter Short, Kurt Crum. Kurt Crum threw a Hail Mary at it, but didn't work out for him. And that should be it for this this heat race. So while they're pacing around, let's go take a look at what caused that. Let's watch from above here. The 11 and 22 side by side heading down into the corner, and Kurt Crum knows that if he doesn't clear the 22 there, it's over. So he slides up in front of the 22, gets loose, and then kind of gets, just bounces off him, Finney, and that's such a hard line to hold.
Right around the outside and just never look back. So I'll give him points for effort there, but yeah, nope. Short just had it there. An amazing run from him out of nowhere on that restart. If you ask this heat, I would have said Kurt Crum, I would have said Wade Lear, I would have said Kyle Hanshaw. I never would have said Peter Short, and he just came out of nowhere. So awesome job to him.
So Peter Short will take the victory here. We still got a couple laps to go, so barring any craziness, Peter Short should be the winner of heat number 1. Actually, Finian, we just got a 1 to green. So we'll be good. Well, we spoke too soon. We're going to get a restart.
I forgot how short these cautions are. Oh, okay, up.
That's it.
Race control just threw the caution out, yep.
So I think they thought it was over too, and they had probably already determined that Peter Short was the winner of that. So caution comes back out. Oh, I see Kurt Crum, a little bump to the 22 there. Yeah, see, from my position, not a whole lot Peter Short did wrong there. But obviously frustrations are high, and when leaders come together, it's never a good situation. Understanding of the 11's frustration, but I don't know if that was necessarily Peter Short's fault. So they're both going to transfer to the feature, though. So this is going to get really exciting. Vinny, did you ever check in how many trucks are going to make it to the feature race?
Yes, I did. The top 12 in each heat will make it to the feature.
All right, so all the trucks that are running on the racetrack right now, and that includes all the way down to Rusty Webb, and that number 88, they're going to transfer to the feature. So the ones that are out are Frank Sims IV, Richard Lafferty, who he started the race but didn't finish it. So the only 2 drivers eliminated from this race. All the rest are going to get to go to the feature. Wow, what a spectacular heat race number 1. Interesting to watch the grooves develop. I think damage on the left front of that 22 tells a story. From 5th to 1st. And the checkered flag is in the air for heat number 1. And Peter Short takes the victory with Kyle Hanshaw, Kurt Crum, Johnny Thomas, and Jordan Teal rounding out your top 5. Great run for Jordan Teal. Or he actually finished 6th. Wade Lear was in... Well, they were swapping back and forth on the timing. Jordan Teal has 5th. All right, so we have to go to break because we have to load into the next heat session. I want to give a huge thanks to the guys for 3Wide. They were extremely accommodating. The format for the heat racing was extremely confusing for us as broadcasters to try to bring the content to you in a way that made sense. But here today, they've adjusted how they run their events just for us, which I think is I want to extend a huge thank you to that because it makes this a lot more enjoyable for us and also a better experience for the viewer. So thanks to those guys, and also Nathan Young Designs for sponsoring the series, as well as Race Kings and Sparko for helping us out. And we're going to go to break. We'll be back in just a couple minutes for heat number 2. Welcome back to Sim TV, and we're here. We got trading paints, still loading some paints in. Sorry about that. Not a whole lot of time to warm this race up. So we got 2 minutes left in the warm up for this second heat race, and this one is all the even numbered points positions. That's Paul Ross, Levi Zielinski, Sam Close, Skylar Nissel, Nathan Velez, Todd Smith, Chuck Sweeting, Travis Bennett, Thomas Morris, Tate Lytle, James Duke, and Nick Miller. I think, and there's a couple others that will pop in probably at the end here. So, Finian wanted to update us on a couple things. Like one notable driver was missing from heat number 1, Finian, if you want to go ahead and tell us who that was.
Yeah, notably Eric Mickey. So our points leader was not at the racetrack. So we haven't heard anything about why he's not here or if something happened. Probably something happened in real life where he couldn't attend the race tonight, which is unfortunate.
All right, here is your current point standings. They're Eric Mickey, Paul Ross, Michael Whitley, Levi Zielinski, Matt Hackathorn, your top 5. There's your top 20 in the points. And it looks like 7 starts for most of those drivers, 6 for Johnny Thomas, 5 for Peter Short in the number 11th spot. I would have thought he would have been higher up. But as we move on to page 2 here, the next 20 drivers: Richard Hines, David Wilson, Russie Webb, Nathan Young. All these drivers haven't made as many starts as the rest, but still on the points grid. That's your top 40. So 45 seconds left in this race. And we're going to go to break real quick. Got to fix something real quick, so we'll be right back. Alright, we're back. We just had a little audio issue to take care of, so we're closing up, warm up here. And it looks like Paul Ross on top, and that's not something that is strange to us here. Well, look at the 99 in the wall there. But Paul Ross, extremely competitive at Eldora, and I expect him to be like that as well here tonight. Another driver, Skylar Nissel and Nathan Velez, also at Eldora, were throwing some bumpers and had quite the run at Eldora, so this should be a fun one to watch. So we were here for Heat 2 of the 8th round of the 2018 Nathan Young Designs Truck Series, sponsored by Race Kings. And we're going to grid these guys up and get them ready to go. We'll get this grid set for this race here again. So the track has been re-prepped for the second heat. We've run the water truck out there and a sheep's foot, and we got everything all set up. And that track looks nice and grippy for the start of this 50-lap heat race. 12 drivers will advance, so it looks... Actually, you know what, Finian? I think everybody is going to advance from this. There's only 12 drivers in here. So, looks like everyone's going to transfer. So this is just really to set the order for this race. And not a lot of stress out here now. And not going to be maybe as aggressive as the first race, because no one's going to go home. Field very tightly packed on pit road. Shell Toyota of Levi Zielinski is at your outside of row 1 with Paul Ross in the number 18. New paint scheme this week. At least looks like it. That number blue, that is me being tired after a long shift at work. The number 18 Chevrolet of Paul Ross. Red, white, and blue colors on that truck here this evening. Look at the fireworks blowing up here at Knoxville. All right, Todd Smith in that number 1, also in that black and green truck. Had a lot of trouble at Iowa a few weeks ago. Crazy Todd's Electronics number 1 had a little trouble at Iowa, but he's back here on the dirt. Maybe a little bit more comfortable here. So it would be fun to watch him work his way through here. Also, Thomas Morris, Chuck Sweeting, Skylar Nissel, Nathan Velez, Nick Miller, Travis Bennett, Tate Lytle, and James Duke. 12 trucks on the racetrack, 50 laps here at Knoxville Raceway. And this is going to be another fun one. The first heat was spectacular racing. I expect nothing less from these 12 drivers here. Just as competitive I cannot talk tonight, Finian. Well, I haven't eaten dinner yet, folks.
These guys are just competitive as the guys in last race. That's what you're trying to say.
That's what I was trying to say. I haven't eaten dinner. It's 11 o'clock p.m. here on the East Coast, so we're just trying to get this done. Try not to be Darrell Waltrip out here tonight, and to try to be coherent as best I can. So, Paul Ross going to lead them down to the green once this Chevrolet Silverado pace truck peels off lead them down for 50 laps here at Knoxville Raceway. The pace truck pulls off, and Paul Ross leads him to the green. The green flag is in the air here at Knoxville. Ross gets a great start off the line, but behind him, a little bit of chaos. 3 wide.
And caution's out.
That James Duke in the 76 that triggered that? Looks like it. He's behind everybody here, but that was a lot of carnage going on. I'll have to go back and take a look at that, see what happened. Look at it from the blimp cam so you get a better view.
Yeah, it seems like it all started when Levi Zielinski just did not get going.
Watching the start of the race from above. So Levi Zielinski didn't get a very good start. Oh, he missed a shift or something. The 5 of Sam Close gets into him. And the 27 of Thomas Morris. A vicious impact to that inside wall. That's what triggered the yellow. Let's take another look at it. That 27 got that stat Tundra. Doored by the 5, just goes straight into the concrete, and that is a horrible impact. It actually gets tagged by the 76 of James Duke. And that truck pretty well totaled for Thomas Morris. Still out there rolling, amazingly. All right, so caution early. Wild start. Levi Zielinski didn't get going and caused a huge stack up that involved Sam Close, the 27 of Thomas Morris. And looks like we're going to hopefully get the 1 to green next time by, or maybe the time after that. So already carnage early in the going for this one. Only 1 yellow in the, well, 2 yellows if you count the race-ending caution in heat number 1. So heat 2 already, carnage report looking busy.
Yeah, I really wonder how much damage Thomas Morris has gotten. By the looks on his trips to pit road, it doesn't look like looks like he has a lot of damage. So hopefully he can get that fixed up and hopefully he can get back out there. But really, it's unfortunate for him starting in 5th, dropping all the way to the tail end of the field.
I would not be surprised then. Would not be surprised if that truck is done for the evening. That truck is pretty beat up. So back to the lead. Paul Ross got a great jump off the initial start, but now Todd Smith is going to be on the high side. There's the 1 to green sign, so the lights in the pace truck are out, and we're going to head around to complete lap 5. So now it's going to be a 45 lap heat race from the caution on the initial start. So now there's 11. All right, let's reset and try this again. Paul Ross in the 18 and Todd Smith in the number 1 on the outside of row 1. Levi Zielinski, Sam Close, 3rd and 4th. Chuck Sweeting and Nathan Velez rounds out your top 6. So we're going to get the green flag back in the air here at Knoxville, and Paul Ross gets another good jump, but Todd Smith is going to hang on the outside this time, and actually is going to roll around the outside of Paul Ross. Looking from above. Ross is going to hang on to it. Contact between Zielinski and Todd Smith. 3 wide. Paul Ross gets into the wall. Oh, got one behind him crashing. Didn't see who it was. Potentially one of those drivers.
That was Skylar Nissel.
Skylar Nissel. Where did he go? Oh, the caution is out. And was that for Nissel? Or was it for Todd Smith who just crashed? Oh, there's too many cars crashed into... Oh my goodness. All right, well, we got to get a look at all these incidents here. So let's take a look first at the number 1's incident. All right, so let's reset this. So this is the number 1's crash. Watching Todd Smith with the green number 1 on the roof. Just gets up out of the groove and gets into the wall off turn 2, bounces off, and noses into the... that's what triggered the yellow right there. Oh, and gets doored by the number 99. That's Nick Miller. So a hard crash for the number 1. And while all this was going down, you said it, Finian, Skylar Nissel got the short end of the stick. Because the 31, that red, black, and white truck into the inside wall, out of the groove, so that didn't trigger the yellow, but 2 separate incidents on that lap 6 restart. All right, so carnage early for this one. This is not looking like the first heat. significant damage to several trucks already, but Paul Ross is loving it out front. Kind of a wild start at the on that restart. Levi Zielinski, Paul Ross, and the one of Todd Smith all kind of 3 wide, jacked up out of turn 2. It looks like Ross got slow, maybe scraped the wall, but looks like minimal right side damage to that number 18.
And Todd Smith has just retired, so, and then there were 10.
Right, so we're down two men already. We're not even 10 laps in, so we just got the 1 to green symbol. Lights are out on the pace truck. And Ross taking the outside lane. I wasn't really aware that there was leader's choice. But Ross is currently being shown as the leader in our timing and scoring, so interesting choice there. We're going to go from the blimp cam again. We don't want to miss any of this action on these restarts. As the field works their way through turns 3 and 4, the pace truck is going to pull off once more. And green flag is back in the air, and Ross is going to get a great jump on Levi Zielinski. But he's in the wall. Scrapes the wall on entry. Levi Zielinski is going to slide up. Will they make contact? Not yet. Levi Zielinski is clear for the lead. Side by side now with Chuck Sweeting and Sam Close in that number 5. '99 Nick Miller, and there's Nathan Velez in the 48.
Ooh, these guys are tied up front.
For the lead, 3 wide, Paul Ross to the inside. There's a 65 of Travis Bennett. Where did he come from in all this?
Yeah, that 65 truck is having a great day. He started in 10th. He's all the way up to 2nd now.
I don't know how he got up that high that quick, but he kind of slipped under our radar for sure. Wow, these guys are being much more aggressive in that outside line. Maybe have watched that first race and realized that outside lane is fast if you can get it to work. But the thing is, the cushion isn't really developed yet, so it's kind of a risky move. Got crashed behind him. Nick Miller in the wall. Nosed in first, and he looks like he is stuck. And that truck ain't gonna go anywhere.
And then there are 9.
Wow, 3 cautions already. So let's take a look at how this one happened. There's 99, that's the 76 of James Duke. And Miller just running the high lane here, gets a little bit sideways, bounces off the 76, and noses, wow, hard into the wall. And gets himself stuck in that Armco. That might be a little bit of a repair for the track crew to fix that. And that's unfortunate circumstances for Miller, but also had damage from an earlier crash that involved, I think, Todd Smith. He got into the side of him when Smith spun out, so not going well for the 99 tonight. But once again, everybody gets a transfer to the feature.
But really, a round of applause to the 65 of Travis Bennett coming out of nowhere to take the lead.
Travis Bennett in the lead. Finny, your fan's still going in the background there. So Travis Bennett takes over the lead. Paul Ross at 18, now going to be in the outside of row number 1 for the restart.
I just got an update. Skylar Nissel has also dropped out of the race, so we are now down to 8.
All right, so then there were 8. Thanks for fixing that fan there, Finny. Okay, lap 16, we haven't really had much green flag racing yet. This has been a much more aggressive race than heat number 1, and has been much slower paced. We've been going for just about 12 minutes now, and I've only made 17, or completed 16 laps. Our average lap time here, not looking so great. So, and again, after this race, we have a 100-lap feature. So that'll be exciting to watch with these drivers. And all these drivers from heat number 2 will continue on to the feature race. Only 2 from heat number 1 missed out on this. So this has really just been qualifying races here this evening, more so than heat racing knockout style. So a little bit different tonight, but again, big thanks to the 3Wide crew for modifying their style for us to make this broadcast even better this week than Eldora. So, pace truck pulls off. The 65 of Travis Bennett in that Coca-Cola Toyota Tundra is going to lead him to the green. Levi Zielinski was middle 3 wide there for a second. And 3 wide behind him, and that's Sam Close in the middle of that mess. Chuck Sweeting in the 26 into the wall for Chuck Sweeting, and Nathan Velez is going to go to the inside to take advantage of that. Zielinski driving around to the outside of the 56 of Tate Lytle. And correct me if I'm wrong, Fane, but I believe Tate Lytle was one of the drivers that was removed from the Eldora race after being involved in one too many incidents. So he's back here tonight looking good, running in the 3rd spot. Hopefully a little bit of redemption.
Yeah, impressive job by him.
Yeah, definitely. So Travis Bennett came out of nowhere, and he is leading this race with Paul Ross, Tate Lytle, and Levi Zielinski and Sam Close rounding out your top 5. But Paul Ross has got his truck hooked up, hanging out a lot less. He's driving a lot less sideways than that leader in the number 65. So we'll watch how that changes, how he advances up on that leader. And behind them, Levi Zielinski is going around the outside of Velez again. So Velez, wow, look at the 26 of Chuck Sweeting hanging it out next to the 76. 3 wide back here. Oh, a little bit of contact.
Yeah. These guys are really racy tonight.
Definitely more so than the first heat, which surprised me. Wow, look at the 26 pulling a slide job on the 59. Oh, contact between the 76 and 59. They're going to roll up the racetrack, up into the... Oh, look at all the dirt flying there in the cushion. Not really much of one up there yet, because they haven't had a lot of green flag running, but the 59 and the 76 duking it out. No pun intended, James Duke, for that 6th spot. Meanwhile, up front, Paul Ross has chased down the leader and right up on his rear bumper. This is going to be a battle.
Yeah, let's see if the inside works. It's kind of late into... Oh, never mind. He just goes on by.
Slide job by Paul Ross. He's going to complete the pass, but here comes the 65 back down to the inside. Will he try the pass down on that bottom, but doesn't really throw it in there as hard as the 18 did, and he's going to lose that spot out of turn 2 here, I believe. Where's that turn 4? I still don't know.
Up in 65, back to the lead.
Wow, up onto the berm. He's gonna slide wide here. Here comes the 18 back down to the inside, swapping back and forth for this lead. .65 running a little bit higher that time through turns 1 and 2. Now works his way back down into that lower groove. So we'll be halfway when we get to the line this time by. Chuck Sweeting still holding on to that 5th spot. Nathan Velez has worked his way up into 4th, but here comes Levi Zielinski back. He wants a piece of that 26 once again, but back up front, that 65 hanging in there with Paul Ross. And Travis Bennett, a spectacular drive forward from 10th to 2nd in that Coca-Cola Tundra. Got to full throttle there for a second. He threw it in there deep, but you see the middle groove right where these 2 leaders are running. That middle groove starting to dry out, wear out just a little bit. And that's going to make the other grooves start to working. You see them now trying just a little bit higher. Ross got way up the racetrack there that time through.
Boom, meanwhile, battle for 3rd.
Tate Lytle side by side with Velez, and Velez is going to complete the pass. We got a yellow on the racetrack. And not sure where that originated. Don't see anybody. Maybe James Duke in the 76. We'll have to take a look real quick. Oh, wow. Where did that come from? Well, we have to take a look at this. What happened to Ross?
On lap 28, turn 1, just spun it around.
We're watching it now. We're about to get to it, I think. I wound back just kind of a lot more than I usually do, just looking for who crashed. We were focused on that battle for 3rd. There he goes, sends it in just too deep, Finney. And again, on that middle groove, not a lot of grip there anymore. We're right on board with the gyro cam. And just watch his hands as he heads down into the corner. Just can't rotate it around. He puts too much lock into it and can't get himself out of it. So he's going to go for a loop. Only going to lose 1 spot, looks like. That's the advantage of being the leader.
One spot, but probably the most important spot.
So we're going to cross the line. It'll be 20 to go when we get to the line. It's lap 30 right now. So Paul Ross spins out of the lead and gives the lead back to Travis Bennett, but no damage to those trucks, at least not significant damage from any incidents. We've had a couple cars, or trucks, excuse me, drop out. Thomas Morris, Todd Smith, Skylar Nissel, and Nick Miller's still out there running around, but also significant damage to that number 99. So had a lot more carnage in this race than we had in the first heat race. And remember, we still have to go for 100 laps here after this. All right, so Travis Bennett started 10th, has worked his way to the lead, and is now going to lead them down to a lap 32 restart once that pace truck pulls off. Bright red and white Coca-Cola colors on the side of that 65, displayed proudly in the lead. And a red, white, and blue number 18 beside him. I would say that the 18 is the favorite for the win as they take the green here, Finian, but his car control, looping it that easily, that was a little bit worrisome for me. But here he goes around the outside. Can he take the lead back away from the 65? Much more aggressive entry. Gonna look from above here. Side by side for the lead. Here comes Nathan Velez trying to stick his nose under. Just taps the rear end of the 65. Levi Zielinski rolling the high lane. And Paul Ross is going to come out the leader. Oh, Tate Lytle really sent it in for that flick. And there goes the 65 around. The 65 of Bennett has spun it around. And it looks like there might have been some help. And it looks like it was the 48 of Nathan Velez that got into the back of the 65. Gave him a kind of a bump before, and you see the 59 getting in the wall hard there. But Velez just gets in there a little bit too hot and just takes the 65 out. I mean, nothing that really any of them did wrong. Just two drivers going for the same area of the racetrack. And also looks like Chuck Sweeting was also caught up in that. We didn't catch that the first time through.
He hit Travis Bennett really hard, and I believe he's smoking right now, so I think Travis Bennett might be out of this race.
Yeah, some more. Yeah. There's some carnage in these trucks here this evening. Look at pit road. That is a graveyard of trucks down there.
Yep, Chuck Sweeting has hung up his helmet for tonight, so we have... and then there were 7.
Well, if you count Travis Bennett out, it's only 6. Paul Ross, Tate Lytle, Nathan Velez, Levi Zielinski, James Duke, and Sam Close, the only ones still out there on the racetrack.
Oh, Travis Bennett is coming back out.
Got 5 guys repping there on the quarter panel. I am a fan. $15 gets you the freaking best burger out there. They should sponsor us. I'm just kidding.
I was going to say hashtag not sponsored.
Please do. Anyway, Paul Ross leading. Now we get the 1 to green that time by, so we're going to come to a restart on lap 37. Paul Ross is the leader, taking that high groove again. Tate Lytle on the inside, Levi Zielinski, Nathan Velez, James Duke, your top 5. All right, well, this has definitely been different from that first heat race. We have not really seen a repeat of what we saw earlier. So once you mix these two driving styles and these two sets of drivers together, it is certainly going to be exciting for that 100-lap feature race coming up here in just a little bit. So the pace truck pulls off, green flag back in the air here, and Paul Ross takes off already. Tate Lytle's going to slot into second, and Levi Zielinski's worked his way back up into third, with Nathan Velez trying to chase him down on the inside. Riding on board now with Nathan Velez in that number 48. You see him slide up the racetrack. It's in that center groove. There's not a whole lot of grip there. Zielinski really hanging it out up on the berm. Wow, that was wild to watch. And he's going to lose a spot over it. And maybe more. Here comes the 76 of James Duke around the outside. Meanwhile, out up front, Paul Ross. Wow, here comes Tate Lytle. Hanging it all the way out. This is good stuff up front.
Yeah, I lost a bit of ground in that corner, but before that, he was just completely chasing Paul Ross. So he has about 10 laps to go to try to make a move.
We have 11 laps to go at the line. Will be 10 to go next time. By caution is out. And who was it this time?
Ooh, that was 76.
76 of James Duke's going to loop it. I don't know, lost count of how many cautions we've had, but we had 2 the first race. And at least 5 in the second one. Go take a look at it. Actually having trouble locating. For some reason it's not. There we go. That should work. There it is. 76 just gets loose. And did he loop it all the way? Oh, here he goes. Up into the wall. Oh, yeah. That was big contact there. Loops it. And, oh, man, the 99 almost actually got a little bit of a piece of it. Nick Miller has run into basically everybody tonight. He's been kind of in the wrong place at the wrong time for all of those events. But just kind of getting the bad end of everyone's deal. All right, so we got 9 laps to go. We will get a restart in here. Got plenty of laps left for that. Paul Ross has been in command for most of this, and I'm going to probably choose him as my likely candidate to win this heat. Who you got, Finian?
I'm liking Tate Lytle. The guy started in 11th position, worked his way up to the front. I'm thinking, he's got some speed in that truck.
Speed in the truck and definitely aggressive. We saw him running some really aggressive lines right up against that Armco, and that's going to pay off here at the end of this heat race. Lights are out on the pace truck. So we'll get the restart with 7 laps to go in this heat. All right, as we roll around through the final corner here. 7 laps to go. Paul Ross, Tate Lytle, your leaders. Nathan Velez, Levi Zielinski up there as well. The green flag is back in the air, and Paul Ross is going to take off immediately. Try to get as big I cannot talk, Finian. As big of an advantage as he can. And look at Tate Lytle all the way down on the bottom. Real sideways. But here comes Zielinski around the outside, going to take that spot away.
Yeah, Lytle just did not get a good start there. And he's really paying the price, dropping back to 3rd and possibly even 4th as Nathan Velez is coming up there.
Right up against that wall. Gotta be careful. You don't want to jump that cushion where Lytle is. That's easy to do. Side by side behind him. That's Velez and the 65 of Bennett. Well, the 76 is sideways, but here comes Tate Lytle again. Being real aggressive with that wheel. But Paul Ross is kind of driven away, and he's taking 4 laps to go when we get to the line. But behind him, Levi Zielinski is going to be facing pressure from Lytle. Well, actually, Lytle's falling back just a little bit, and here comes Velez around the outside.
Yeah, Lytle hit the wall coming out of the turn and just lost all of his momentum down the straightaway, and he's really falling back right now.
Other driver that just hit the wall, Levi Zielinski in 2nd. Really banged up that right side door on the Armco. Velez and Lytle getting close once again. Lytle sends it in around the outside. Velez down in that... Oh, that's such a hard line to take right through the middle of the track where it's all dried up. And Lytle's going to use that outside as an advantage and drive away. Oh, Sam Close got real close to the wall off the corner. Up front.
Meanwhile, up front, Paul Ross is just driven away, and he's just been pushing a gap towards Zielinski. He's just been gaining every single lap, and I would say he's looking pretty good at this point.
Started first, running first, and been solid as a rock once he can get a green flag run going. And he's going to come to the white flag for the final lap here in heat number 2. This guy is really good at dirt. Meanwhile, Sam Close and Travis Bennett battling. Again, everyone from this heat transfers, but Paul Ross in that number 18 Chevrolet is going to win heat number 2 as he comes out of turn 4 here at the Knoxville Raceway.
Boom, and here comes Tate Lytle on the inside of Zielinski.
To the line! Who is it? Lytle gets it. By 0.04 of a second. Let's take a look at that replay. Wow, to the line, that was close. And then Zielinski went for a loop after. Yeah, fireworks in the sky, fireworks on the track here for heat number 2. All right, Finian. So, wow. All right. That was a wild one. So 50 laps are complete in here in heat number 2, and we're going to take a few minutes off. We're going to set the stage for the feature race, 100 laps here around Knoxville Raceway. And we'll be right back in just a few minutes, and when we know the time, we'll put up on the commercial what time we'll be coming back to bring you the green flag for the feature race here at Knoxville. Stay with us. Welcome back to Knoxville and SimTV. We're back and we're ready for a 100-lap feature race here at Knoxville Raceway. You're watching Johnny Thomas. I believe that was Johnny Thomas running into the wall there. A couple other drivers here. It should be, what, 24 trucks we should have on the racetrack here? And it is going to be a great one. We saw some fantastic racing in the first heat. A lot of carnage in the second heat. But we're here. We're going to mix those two strategies together and have one heck of a race here this evening. If you're watching right now, thank you for being with us and sticking through the delays. So we're ready to go racing here tonight. Leave a like if you haven't already, and subscribe. Of course, I feel sucky for saying that, but subscribe. It helps us out a ton. We can bring you more content each and every week here on SimTV. And if you're not subscribed already, go for that red button. Doesn't hurt you. And we won't blow up your inbox, so we only stream about 2 or 3 times a week now during the summer. But the fall, we have got a lot of stuff planned for the fall, Finney, and a lot of cool series we're excited to announce. But another thing we wanted to update Finney about Eric Mickey. You can go ahead and give him an update on that.
Oh yes, Eric Mickey notified us that he does not own Knoxville and decided to take a provisional for this week, so we will see him back next week.
I didn't know Knoxville until about 11 o'clock this morning, so this is a new track for me too. Didn't really get a whole lot of experience on it, but good to drop the 1195 on a new piece of content. Always happy to do that. 30 seconds left in the warm-up for this. We'll set the field. Quite a few trucks here now. We got the grid a little bit more full than it was. And I'm excited to see this get underway. So we're watching Johnny Thomas there in that 83 roll around. And look who's on top of the board right now. That's Paul Ross. And that number 18, that's not much of a shocker.
Yeah, and right behind him, Peter Short. Also not surprising there.
So checkered flag goes in the air for the practice. Alright, so practice is over here at Knoxville Raceway. And we're going to have a couple minutes, 5 minutes of qualifying now to set the grid for this race. Let's take a look at Paul Ross. Let's watch him go out here for a lap. Let's ride on board with Paul Ross, see what it takes to go fast around here at the Knoxville Raceway. Almost snow plowing the dirt here on this fresh racetrack. All again re-prepped by the Knoxville Raceway staff. Brought the sheep's foot out here and layered down some new water to get it all moistened up and ready to go racing. And you can see that fresh dirt flying off the right side tires of that 18. So here we go. Green flag is in the air for Paul Ross now. Let's see what lap time he can lay down. Good. 23,383 to put him on top of the board for now. Wade Lear jumps up to the lead. And Kyle Hanshaw bests him. A 22.786. Nathan Velez jumps up there, and Jordan Teal also with a 22.993, about 0.2 off the leader. Paul Ross kind of looks like he might be done, or maybe getting some fresh Goodyears on that truck to go out for one more try, but he's falling down the order fairly quickly here. Kyle Hanshaw seems pretty satisfied with his lap. Peter Short now up to third at 23.120 for that number 22, Kansas City Southern Tundra. Go on board with the number 22 with the gyro cam. Take a look at what driving around Knoxville looks like. You see that wheel flick to the left and then to the right, and just working that wheel side to side. A lot of effort to drive around here, Finney.
Yeah, definitely. And looking at the top of the board, Kyle Hanshaw with a time of 22.7, and he's 0.2 ahead of Jordan Teal. So great lap by him, and I'm really surprised to see Jordan Teal. Didn't see a lot of him shine in the heat races, but great fast lap by him.
believe Jordan Teal came out 5th in that first heat, so definitely was running well, but maybe not a race-winning contender. But with that qualifying in second, that is a pretty good look for that number 33. So we're still watching Peter Short work his way around here. Here comes Johnny Thomas in the 83, but he is in and done. Kurt Crum out there, the number 11, quick in the first heat, and he's out there running 9th right now. Gaps between the drivers pretty large. You see the 11 half a second behind Kyle Hanshaw on that number 46. Those guys were racing door-to-door in the first heat. Minute and a half left in qualifying here at Knoxville Raceway. We'll go for 100 laps here and decide the winner for this evening's race. And wow, the 11 goes bouncing up and over that berm and heads to the garage. Peter Short still out on the racetrack, still running laps, getting all the practice he can get, which, honestly, great idea for that number 22 Kansas City Southern driver. Less than a minute now. Can Peter Short improve? Not that time by.
I believe he has used up all of his attempts. He's just kind of driving around.
You're right. Again, there's the road driver in me not knowing that you only have 2 laps to qualify.
But yeah, everyone has qualified that has elected to qualify, so those drivers are on the left side of the screen.
Gotta clarify myself to make myself feel better. I have over 100 starts in road and like 6 in oval. Never raced in a series that required pit stops or really even qualifying that was worth anything. So I put my hands up in the air. I surrender to the oval gods. This is some weird stuff y'all do just turning left all day. But hey, it's exciting to watch here at Knoxville. And Peter Short just getting out there for some practice and running nice lap times. So qualifying is over. So we're going to get this race ready to go racing. Field grids up. Paul Ross qualified farther back than I thought he would. A little bit of a surprise there.
Yeah, him and also Kurt Crum, I'm pretty shocked about qualifying close to the midfield.
Not super surprised to see Hanshaw up there in the lead, but Jordan Teal a surprise, perhaps. Another one I'm a little bit surprised to see, maybe not farther up the field, Hackathorn. And who else was the other driver I was just looking at? Where is he? The one of Todd Smith, also quite quick early in that second heat race. Maybe we expected a little bit quicker out of him, but looks like he's going to have to work his way through about half the field to get up to where he needs to be. The field is gridding up. Look at that beautiful row. Several rows of vehicles out there on the racetrack. 23 or 4, somewhere around there. I don't have the exact number at the moment, but look at those trucks all gridded up, ready to roll. That Chevrolet Silverado pace truck is going to lead them for 2 pace laps. We'll set them loose on the dirt for 100 laps, and we should really see the track change over that 100-lap period. So let's take a look at the weather information here tonight. Knoxville, USA, 78 degrees in the air, 78 down on the racetrack. Overcast skies, wind out of the south at 9 miles an hour. So weather, beautiful evening here tonight. A little bit cloudy and a little bit breezy, but it's going to be a gorgeous night for racing here in Knoxville. All right, looks like everyone is gridded up, and the pace truck will roll off here momentarily. Hanshaw will lead them, and here we go. Kyle Hanshaw will lead everybody to the green. There's the 33 of Jordan Teal. And there's the fireworks again. It's going to be a beautiful night for racing here at Knoxville Racing. Welcome to Sim TV, and if you're watching thank you for being with us tonight. 100 laps here around Knoxville. The fireworks are flying. We're going to see some on the racetrack. It is going to be a one heck of a race. It's going to be exciting to watch, and I can't wait to get underway. I'm here with Finney and DeCuna. I'm Kyle Heyer for SimTV. Thanks for sticking with us. We want to thank Nathan Young Designs. We want to thank Sparko, and we want to thank Race Kings for sponsoring these events and sticking with us through this season. And we want to thank the 3WideRacing League for changing their events for us, specifically to help the broadcast out and make it a little bit easier to follow. So thank you to them for adjusting their procedures to be with us here tonight. And this is going to be a great race. So we got a pretty fresh track. It's been prepared, ready to go racing. It's fast. And we have Kyle Hanshaw and Jordan Teal on the front row. All right, so pace truck is going to leave the racetrack here, and Kyle Hanshaw is going to lead them down to the green flag here at Knoxville Raceway. Already Jordan Teal in the wall.
Yeah, Jordan Teal got into the wall and got into Peter Short, but looks like Peter Short was able to correct it and save it. Lost some time to the leaders, though.
There's a lot of stuff to be watching right now. There's a busy racetrack out here. There's Wade Lear hanging it out sideways, already up the racetrack. And right in front of him, Nathan Velez in the 48. Also looking racy. For the lead, here comes Johnny Thomas in the 83. Looking to the outside of Kyle Hanshaw for the lead. Well, Kurt Crum, Matt Hackathorn, and Richard Hines find themselves in a bind there for a second. And then Velez, Wade Lear. Here comes Sam Close to the inside off of turn 2. Tate Lytle in a big gaggle back here. That's the 65 of Travis Bennett and the 88 of Rusty Webb. But for the lead, Hanshaw holding off Johnny Thomas. Peter Short creeping into this battle now just a little bit.
Yeah, everyone got pretty decently spread out compared to what we saw in the heat races. I guess everyone is just trying to find their rhythm for these 100 laps.
Find the rhythm they have. Nice clean start. 33 got up into the wall in the initial start, but has held on to it and is in 4th now. Richard Hines and Kurt Crum are in the middle of all this mess. And there's Paul Ross again. Driver we thought might qualify better, but here he finds himself in 7th early in the going. There's Tate Lytle. Sam Close behind him. And to the outside of Lytle is that 76 of James Duke. Troublesome heat race for him. Chuck Sweet. Wow, look at this group in front of Chuck Sweeting. Wade Lear is in this. Rusty Webb. Sam Close. Wow, Travis Bennett also involved in this gaggle. 3 wide. Or close to it back here. This is all for 13th place. Jordan Teal has slipped down 1 spot and going to give up the 4th spot to Kurt Crum. Behind him, Richard Hines. Paul Ross and Matt Hackathorn still hanging on to their spots.
Yeah, I wonder if Kurt Crum could try to use this clean track in front of him to try to catch up to the leaders, because the top 3 have just completely broken away.
Travis Bennett's dropped a couple spots from the original start, from 8th to 12th. There's Chuck Sweeting and Sam Close side by side, and here's Levi Zielinski. Looking to the middle of the racetrack.
Up from for the lead, there's a battle.
Johnny Thomas to the inside of Kyle Hanshaw for the leader. There's going to be contact between them just a little bit. Oh, they're so close if they didn't lean on each other already. Thomas, oh, to the inside. Contact with the quarter panel. Oh, he got one around. Got one spun out. It's Chad Brown in the 64, but he's going to get back going. Meanwhile, up front, Hanshaw holds on to the lead, but look who's lurking in the back. That's 22. Peter Short, that Kansas City Southern Tundra. Levi Zielinski right on the tail of Chuck Sweeting back here. That's for 14th spot. Zielinski's going to roll around the high side now. Oh, Zielinski slams the wall on that front straight. No significant damage, he'll continue. Look at this mess from on board Levi Zielinski's car.
Ooh, Sam Close has spun out.
Oh, Sam Close against that inside wall there. I get a better view of it. There we go. He'll get back going. Meanwhile, for the lead, here comes Johnny Thomas back down to the inside of Kyle Hanshaw. For the lead side by side on lap 12. Here comes the 22 of Peter Short. Can he get up there in this mess? Oh, man, this is great. They're coming up on lap cars.
I also noticed a certain taxi in the background looking to get a shot at this.
Kurt Crum is just watching this. His mouth is foaming looking at this mess. 3 wide for the lead there for a second. But it looks like Peter Short's actually come out on top. We got a side-by-side battle for the lead still with Johnny Thomas and Peter Short. Kyle Hanshaw drops 2 spots to third. They're still side-by-side. A little bit of contact between the 22 and 83. Can he hold on to it? Yes, he does. Wow, that's good beating and banging for the top spot. Still side-by-side, different lines. Go ahead, Finian.
Yeah, nice job of Thomas to just push Short to the inside line. He couldn't get the truck really rotated around there, and Thomas was able to use the run off the corner and just make that move work. But here comes Short on the inside.
A crossover by Thomas, but he's not going to be able to do anything with it. So Peter Short's going to get the lead. Here comes a bunch of lap traffic they got to navigate now. We've got a caution out on the racetrack, and that is going to be, looks like for Chad Brown in the 64. Wow. Lots of action here in the early going.
Yeah, I think these guys will like that.
All right, so let's take a look at what happened to the 64. Bouncing, oh, there was a lot of action going on here. The 64 loops it up against that wall and packs it in. Spins it out. Also wanted to get another look at, I was trying to find it here. Oh, I got it. The number 99 and the 31 got together. Skylar Nissel and Nick Miller. They got together and almost had a crash. But it looks like they got it all straightened out. So, back up to the current race. We're back live here. Here's Peter Short leading the race. Johnny Thomas second. Kyle Hanshaw third. Kurt Crum fourth. Jordan Teal fifth. Richard Hines, Paul Ross, Nathan Velez, Matt Hackathorn, and Tate Lytle rounding out your top 10. It's been a wild one here in the early going at Knoxville Raceway. We're 17 laps in. We got the 1 to green that time by, so we'll be going back green in just a lap. And looks like Short's going to elect for the inside lane.
Yeah, solid drive with these guys up front. Who are you liking so far?
Well, Peter Short's been real aggressive, and I really, really appreciate that. It's a spectacular driving truck from the looks of it. And on top of that, Johnny Thomas, you can't go wrong with that guy on a dirt track. But I'm not sure Kyle Hanshaw can get it done here tonight very, very fast, but just getting outraced with the aggression levels of everyone else. Green flag back in the air here at Knoxville. For the lead, Hanshaw to the inside. Can't do anything with it. Johnny Thomas is going to grab it. Look at this gaggle behind him. Lots of trucks in that. That's Paul Ross, Nathan Velez, Tate Lytle, Matt Hackathorn. Everyone's in this mess. Off of turn 2. Spectacular stuff here. Look at all these trucks. Riding on board now with Travis Bennett. Where do you go with that big gaggle of trucks in front of you? Contact in front of him with Wade Lear and Richard Hines. And oh, around there goes the 65. Contact. That's Levi Zielinski and Chuck Sweeting. And oh, looks like Thomas Morris is in it as well. Several trucks involved in that one. Cautions out again on lap 21. Cautions breed cautions. The aggression level has stepped up. Let's take a look at it. Oh, lost it there a little bit. We gotta go back and grab it again. There we go. 65 of Travis Bennett spins right in front of Zielinski, and looks like Chuck Sweeting just locked up the brakes, nowhere to go. It's the 27 of Thomas Morris also involved, and the 76 of James Duke just had to stop to avoid that one. Have to back up just a little bit farther to find that. Oh, you're right, Finian. The 48 got into the rear of the 65. And that's what sent him around. So aggression levels are stepping up. Still a long way to go. Maybe a little bit too aggressive in the early going. You're going to make enemies that it's going to come back to hurt you later in the race. A little disagreement going back here with the 18, maybe? Or is that just guys just sorting out their driving position? It looks like everybody's happy.
So far.
So far.
Give them another 75 laps.
I'm not really convinced that the 65 is all that happy with Nathan Velez. But as this race goes on, I suppose we'll see some more of those two together. 46 of Hanshaw is... Well, Peter Short is your leader. Looks like their timing and scoring is just getting itself sorted out. The pace truck is going to pull off once again. We'll be restarting on lap 25. And Peter Short in that 22 is going to lead him to green. For the lead.
Hanshaw tried to get a door in there, just get a little bit of a fender in there to try to pull on the outside. Couldn't get it done. Here comes Johnny Thomas on the inside.
Velez is really aggressive back there, was knocking around some other guys, and the 65 also got sideways, but back up front, Finian, as you were saying, 3 wide for the lead, is it? Looked like it for a second. And here comes Jordan Teal back into this mess. Here comes Paul Ross. Oh, Ross is going to get into the 83. Thomas is sideways.
Yep, Thomas saved it also. Great save by him.
Oh, but back into traffic. Contact again. Does the 18 go around? No, he hangs on to it. Wow, spectacular driving by these guys here tonight. Holding on to something that should have been a crash about 3 laps ago, but Thomas is going to lose a lot of spots. There's Matt Hackathorn working his way into the top 5. If he can get by the 83, that is. Three wide back here. This is for, looks like, a 10th spot, excuse me. That's Tate Lytle and Richard Hines in the 87. And Lytle's going to clear him. Oh, Hackathorn, Thomas, and Kurt Crum, and that's Wade Lear. Throw them in the mix here. This is a battle for, looks like, 5th spot.
Yeah, I'm surprised we haven't seen Kurt Crum go further up the field. You see him kind of mired back in traffic, so he's going to have to try to pass these guys and get to the front. But he does have a decent amount of time to do so. So we'll see how his progress works throughout the race.
Kurt Crum just so steady tonight. Hasn't really gotten himself into bad situations. He's been in the middle of everyone else's bad decisions, but he's made his way forward in the first heat very well, very calm, collected. And in the chaos that is dirt racing, he's done an excellent job keeping the fenders on it tonight. Right in front of him, Wade Lear is tracking down the 44 of Hackathorn. He wants in. Meanwhile, up for the lead, we got a battle. Peter Short, Kyle Henshaw, nose to tail. Henshaw's going to look to the outside. Short's running that inside groove, and now you're starting to see the track, just that middle groove right where the 22 is running, drying out just a little bit. That's going to change the lines as we move on here. Here goes the 46 to the inside now.
Yeah, that really shows it that Cal Henshaw is able to get a better run coming out of the corner with that more grip.
And look who joined the party. The 18 of Paul Ross. And we got a caution on the racetrack. And it's, oh, Levi Zielinski, Skylar Nissel's involved. Oh, smoke. Heavy smoke leaving from the 99. So a 3-car accident, maybe more. We'll take a look at it. Oh my goodness. When you see what I just saw. There's Levi Zielinski. Hops over the berm there. Gets tight. Bounces off the wall. And then contact with the 64, the 31. And then watch this. The 59. Oh, we got to catch the 99 is what we were looking for. Nick Miller took one heck of an impact. We're going to go back, take a look from the nose of the 99. Here you can see it all developing in front of him and just wham right into the side of the 64. A vicious impact there.
Going through that.
All right, let's ride on board with Rusty Webb in the 88 behind this group of 4 or 5 trucks. Oh, wow, right through the middle he slides through. Great wreck avoidance by Rusty Webb. Struggled here at the dirt tracks, but you can avoid stuff like that, you're going to have a good day. All right, so up front, Peter Short retains the lead from Kyle Hanshaw, Paul Ross, Jordan Teal, Johnny Thomas. Retirements include Chad Brown, Luis Almaso, Sam Close, Michael Whitley, and Corey Lindsay's not in the race. He's 3-wide staff member, so he's shown on the ticker because he's in the session, but not on the racetrack. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 retirements, and make that 5 as Nick Miller has pulled that truck off for the night. And Levi Zielinski is 3 laps down, and... Oh, actually, is Nick Miller back out?
No, he's he is I think getting repairs to
Looks
that
like
truck.
he is getting repairs. So Levi Zielinski, Nick Miller getting repairs, as well as Skylar Nissel. Last truck on the lead lap is Rusty Webb in that 88. And he is in 17th. So, 17 trucks on the lead lap. And Peter Short's going to lead them back to green flag here at Knoxville. Oh, look at this. Lytle is in the middle of a gaggle. There's Kurt Crum in the center of it all. Wade Lear running a little bit out of the groove. There's Hackathorn behind all this. And look at Tate Lytle work his way up to 6th. Great restart for Lytle. Oh, Jordan Teal's going to spin it. Contact Kirk. Is that Kurt Crum around? It looks like it is. Crum has spun it. Richard Hines has spun it. Chuck Sweeting behind all of it. He's going to miss it all. Caution is out again. So we've started a mid-race string of yellows here. Cautions breed cautions, as we were saying earlier, Finian. So hard to avoid contact. Looks like Kurt Crum's truck isn't too badly damaged, but we're going to get another look at this. Try to dissect what happened here. It looks like it started with the 33 of Teal. So Teal looks like he gets sideways here. And Lytle runs into him. The 33 bounces off, and that's what sends the 11 around. And we also want to see how the 87 got into this, so we'll go back and check that out. Riding on board now with the 87 of Hines, and just nowhere to go, locked up the brakes. Got into the door of the 11, but no significant damage for anybody in this one. Although Kurt Crum has gone a lap down, and it's potential that he potentially got steering damage from that. So he's back out on the track, but he's 1 lap down. And might receive the free pass when and if we... I don't even know if it's an if. It's definitely a when we get another yellow. So Kurt Crum is still in this, as long as that truck was repaired sufficiently. Alright, so last time by, I think I said that we had 17 trucks on the lead lap. Now it is 15, so another 2 are going to bite the dust. Lap 40 here. We're going to restart, finishing lap 40 into lap 41. So we're not quite to halfway yet. And Nick Miller is still off the track, so is Levi Zielinski. Skylar Nissel is rolling. He's 2 laps down.
Yeah, we've lost almost half the field. As far as lead lap's concerned, we've lost almost half the field, and we're not even halfway through the race.
There was a little bit of green flag running earlier, and then we've just kind of gotten ourselves caught into the whole cautions, breeding cautions, and we're stuck. And green flag back in the air, and here comes Peter Short. And wow, Paul Ross got aggressive on the rear bumper. Look at Tate Lytle. Side by side for the lead.
Handshot. Yeah, handshot working the outside.
And he makes it stick. He takes the lead away from the 22 at Short. Here comes Johnny Thomas to the outside now. Look at that middle groove, though, Finney. You can see it starting to wear away. As we jump back here, look at Hackathorn and Wade Lear, Travis Bennett, Tate Lytle all in the groove. Hackathorn slides up in front of Wade Lear on the exit of turn 2. 27 of Thomas Morris has actually rebounded from his earlier accident quite nicely, running 9th right now. And Hackathorn is hanging that truck out. It's fun to watch him wheel that thing around. Here comes Lytle up to the rear end of Wade Lear. Almost got into him, but backed out of it just in time. Lytle bounces off the wall. So a little bit of a gap from 4th on back. 5th on back. And Lytle and Hackathorn running side by side now. That's going to be for 7th.
Ooh, Johnny Thomas is working for 2nd.
Oh, look at this gaggle. 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. It's Peter Short down on the inside. But Thomas clears him. Ross drives it in deep. Gets a little bit too high, though. That groove isn't quite developed as much as the middle lanes are. Look at behind these guys. Travis Bennett, Wade Lear battling side by side. Bennett's way up against that wall. There's not much of a cushion there yet, but he's starting to generate them all by himself. Paul Ross, Peter Short side by side still for 3rd. Woo! .5-second lead Kyle Hanshaw has. Meanwhile, Thomas Morris is side by side with Chuck Sweeting. That's for 12th. Oh, got one in the wall. That's the one of Todd Smith. He'll keep it going, but that truck is severely damaged. You can already see it driving kind of sideways. Oh, he gets into it with Richard Hines. Will he hold on to it for now? He does, but he's going to drop lots of spots, and he's going to have to come in and fix that truck eventually. He just... here goes the 27. Thomas Morris down to the inside of Jordan Teal.
Yeah, I'll be surprised if iRacing isn't telling him to fix that thing, because that looks like it will look like some heavy contact.
Yeah, the one really kind of just drilled the right front in that Armco, and that is not going to be a very good handling truck for the rest of the night. Tate Lytle now in 7th, trying to track down Travis Bennett for 6th. Looks like everything's kind of sorted out for now, and Johnny Thomas has to make up a 1.5-second gap to get up to Kyle Hanshaw, who is your current leader, and we're almost halfway.
Yeah, I think you want to take that back from Hanshaw, what you said about him? He's trying to prove you wrong.
Well, I didn't say he wouldn't win. I just said it was unlikely. But I guess he's already to prove me wrong, so I'm going to eat my foot for that one. Johnny Thomas 2nd, Paul Ross, Peter Short, Wade Lear. Look at Wade Lear all over the 22 for that 4th spot. Wade Lear's been pretty quiet tonight. Started 6th, running 5th, and looking for 4th. So he hasn't really been very far from where he started, but quietly keeping himself in the championship contention. Rusty Webb and the 76 of James Duke going at it for 14th. Here's Nathan Velez trying to work over Travis Bennett in that 65. Bennett's going to slide down there. Look at Kurt Crum out there running. He's a lap down, but in a free pass position. And definitely still quick. So if he can get a yellow, there's another force to reckon with, especially now that the guys in the lead lap are dwindling. There's Wade Lear still working over the back end of Peter Short. Peter Short started 4th, running 4th, exactly where he started, and you got to be maybe frustrated a little bit that he hasn't made more progress. I mean, he was really quick in his heat race, and he's struggling to move forward.
Yeah, it comes Wade Lear on the inside.
Lear's looking. Oh, caution is out. We got another crash, and it looks like it's potentially Todd Smith in that number 1. I can't really blame him. That truck cannot be driving very good. Caution's out, so Kurt Crum is going to receive the free pass. So good thing for Kurt Crum. Let's take a look and see what happened to the number 1. Yep, just kind of did the Scandinavian flick, and whoa, the 76 gets by him on the outside, but the 1 just sent it for a quick loop. Single truck spin, rather. But no harm, no foul, and we'll continue to move. But again, he's on the caution counter now, and you will be removed for causing too many yellows. So with that truck as ill handling as it is, he's got to be careful for the rest of the night.
So that is Hanshaw in first. Notably, Paul Ross and Johnny Thomas exchanged positions. Ross just got him right before the yellow. So Ross up to second. I think this is the highest we've seen him all night.
While Ross started 7th, didn't qualify as good as we thought he would, but definitely going to be a contender here at the end of the night. Who did I say would win?
I'm not sure, honestly.
Because I know he's not leading, and that's frustrating. I'm not very good at this whole guessing thing. It's supposed to be an educated guess, but I know nothing about dirt racing. It is a struggle to even guess. So 46 and 18 are going to be side by side. These two guys started up front in their respective heat races and have been near the front, at least, for most of the racing tonight. Pace truck's going to pull off, and Kyle Hanchaz will lead him back to the green on lap 56 into lap 57. Johnny Thomas is going to slide up in front of Paul Ross. Wow, look at Peter Shortkin needing alive. He's in the middle of 3 wide right now. Where does he go?
Yeah, Lear came up the track and into him, and they all just crumpled on each other. Amazing that no one spun out from that.
Oh, don't speak too soon. We got cars all over the racetrack, and Short is way down on the inside. Hit the berm there for a second. Tate Lytle's way out of the groove. He's sideways. 3 wide. Velez in the middle. Lytle's in the wall still. The 33 of Jordan Teal and the 48 of Nathan Velez are still side by side, and uh-oh, here comes the 65, and remember those guys had contact earlier in the race. But it's too busy right now to be doing any retaliation. I mean, oh, well, actually, let's see how well they...
Speak too soon.
27 of Thomas Morris got way sideways, but here are the 65 and the 48. They're behaving quite nicely here for now. Oof. Didn't clear each other yet, though. There comes Matt Hackathorn between them. Oh, 65 gets loose underneath them. He holds on to it. Kurt Crum is still a lap down, so no free pass given on that last lap, on that last caution. So Crum's going to have to race for it tonight. Hackathorn and Velez are side by side. That's a risky move on the inside. There's not a lot of grip there. Can he hold on to it? He's sideways. He does. But he's got to deal with Jordan Teal on the inside. And Kurt Crum barking up the rear end of that 44 as well.
I feel really bad for Kurt Crum. He's probably just sitting there running what could be. Ooh, into the 33.
Teal's going to go around. No caution. Wow, that's about as close to a crash as you can get without that being one. There's James Duke running quite well here now. Started 15th, now running 10th. He's in the middle of a gaggle, but oh, contact with the 48. I spoke too soon again. I got to stop talking. It bounces off the wall a few times, but gets through it. And Bennett and Velez are... I'm hoping that they're all over their issues because they've been together a lot tonight. Velez down to the inside.
Ooh, up front there's a battle.
Paul Ross and Johnny Thomas side by side for third. Oh, Thomas in that outside groove. You can see the groove starting to move up a little bit. That middle groove now really worn out. Take a look again at Jordan Teal, Chuck Sweeting, and James Duke are still battling it out back here, but Nathan Velez and Travis Bennett are going to be tired of each other by the end of the night. I'm sure that Velez is going to go on a Coca-Cola strike and go buy some Pepsi after this one, because he is not having it with that rear end of that 65, and as he goes up the racetrack trying a higher groove than we've seen. Jordan Teal side by side with James Duke. But that inside groove is so hard to keep speed down there.
Ooh, up front, Lear's catching Hanshaw.
Lead's about as small as it's been since the restart. We're working lap 66, so we're almost to the 2/3 point here. So Lear is catching, and last time by ran 0.4 of a second quicker. Last time by just a little bit slower by a couple hundredths than the leader. But it's close, and here comes Paul Ross throwing himself in the mix. We got another caution, and it is Nathan Velez, and I don't even want to guess what might have been the cause of that one. But we'll take a look.
That's how you think.
Okay, well that's good to know. Oh, okay. Pleasantly surprised. Let's take a look. Right on board with the 76 of James Duke. Looks like the 48 was all out of shape, and yeah, see, normally I would blame that on the 76, but he was already committed to the corner, and the 48 was so slow that I don't think you can really blame that on the 76 of James Duke. That was just a racing thing.
Yeah, once you commit to your line in the corner, it's really hard to slow down or deviate from that line, so you're really out of his hands.
Yeah, not much he could do there, so caution out again, lap 68, and let's reset it for you here. Kyle Hanshaw, Wade Lear, Paul Ross, Johnny Thomas, Peter Short, your top 5. Then Tate Lytle, Matt Hackathorn, Travis Bennett, James Duke, Chuck Sweeting rounds out your top 10. Kurt Crum is a lap down, as is Richard Hines. Skylar Nissel is 30 laps down out of the race. Levi Zielinski is 37 down out of the race. Nick Miller, 38 down out of the race. And Chad Brown, Lou Samasso, Sam Close, Michael Whitley, Corey Lindsay. Excuse me, I keep saying Corey Lindsay because he's on the ticker, but all the way down to 24th, all out of the race with crash damage. Kyle Hanshaw running, right now, a perfect race. Started first, running first. Has done well in the heats. He is looking good, and we got the 1 lap to green symbol, so he's just got to hold on for a couple more laps. So we will get the green flag with 30 laps to go. Just under a third of the race left. He's going to have Way Lear to his outside. That's as high as Way Lear's been running tonight. Pace truck is going to pull off in turn 4 and leave the leader all up to his decision to go to the green flag, and the green flag is back out. Here comes Kyle Hanshaw taking him to the green. Wadler gets a slow restart. He's going to back up the field behind him. Here's Johnny Thomas looking to take advantage of it, and Tate Lytle is packed in tight between the 65 and the 83. Peter Short's getting eaten alive. He was really competitive earlier, but he keeps slipping back on these restarts. And is struggling. Here comes the 65, but Travis Bennett around the outside of him. But, oh, watch Tate Lytle. 65 in the wall just a little bit, bouncing off. Sparks everywhere.
Yeah, these guys have really great truck control that they're able to hit the wall and get back into the line.
I see Tate Lytle bouncing off of it violently again. Thomas Morris is really hanging it out sideways there. Who was that rim riding up there? That looks like it was James Duke that was right up against the wall in turn 4. Meanwhile, out front, Kyle Hanshaw nicely driving away just a little bit. 0.6 of a second, the gap to Wade Lear. Oh, Johnny Thomas sailed it in. He is the rim rider here tonight.
Ooh, Lear closed in 0.3 that last time by.
As he did, we're going to roll the 25 to go here in just a couple laps, and the time is now to go. I mean, you don't have a whole lot of time left. The clock is ticking. These laps go by quick here, 23 seconds. Meanwhile, Nathan Velez and Jordan Teal are side by side. Oh, Kurt Crum is in the middle of a mess, as is James Duke. Contact! Oh, the 48 takes the 76 for a ride, but he doesn't lose it all the way. 76 up on the berm, now back going to make contact with the 87. 87's going to hook him into the wall. The 76 goes into the wall hard. That was an eventful couple corners for James Duke.
I don't think he liked that too much.
Got beat up pretty good there. Meanwhile, Tate Lytle working over Travis Bennett for the 6th spot. And the grooves are starting to, I see Lytle, or excuse me, Bennett's in the wall. You see the grooves starting, the options are starting to dwindle. You can't really run that middle groove quite so much. You have to start sliding up the track, but as you do, you're going to get closer and closer to that outside wall. I see Wade Lear trying a little bit higher, and we've got another caution on the racetrack, and this time it's Chuck Sweeting in the 26.
I think Nathan Velez really slow, and ooh.
Let's take a look at it. Oh, man. This is... Looks like Kurt Crum there. A little bit sideways off the corner, maybe. Happens in the next corner here. So, oh, drove it in a little bit deep there and got the 26 turnaround. And Velez, wow! Velez got the short end of the stick there.
Velez had nowhere to go.
Right on board with Velez. Yeah, Kurt Crum trying... Wow. Ooh, that's a hard hit. Kurt Crum really trying to get back on the lead lap, and, well, that's not really exactly the way to do it, but he's trying. And ends up running over an unfortunate, unsuspecting Chuck Sweeting in that 26. Kyle Hanshaw shutting the engine off, or at least clutching the motor in that number 46 up in there in the front. So we're on lap 79. We're going to be less than 20 to go, or actually probably at 20 to go when we get the green flag. So, like I said before, the time is ticking, and restarts, especially for the guys behind the leader, that's the best time to make up the spots when the field's all on top of each other. But, Finian, it's going to be aggressive from here on to the end.
Yeah, Peter, I've noticed, has really struggled on these restarts. He really needs to find some footing, or he's going to lose even more positions.
Especially starting on the bottom, that's a tricky spot to start in. And I don't think it's going to get much better unless he gets that high lane to work with. We get the 1 to green, the lights are out on the pace truck. Top 5, Hanshaw, Lear, Ross. Or is it Johnny Thomas is in the third there. Hanshaw, Lear, Thomas, Ross, and Short are your top 5. Then Bennett, Lytle, Hackathorn, Morris, Teal, your top 10. Pace truck will pull off. 20 laps to go here at the Knoxville Raceway. Green flag is back in the air. Hanshaw gets clear of the field, but behind him it is a mess, and look at Peter Short in the middle of that. Where do you go? Contact between the 83 of Johnny Thomas and the 18 of Paul Ross. .65 up in the wall there just a little bit. Oh, contact, hard contact with the wall for the 65, and looks like Lytle's going to get through. Here comes Jordan Teal flying up through the field. Oh, look out, Johnny Thomas sliding, or excuse me, Thomas Morris sliding around in that 27.
Yeah, a lot of these guys are just getting a lot of momentum out of the corner, but just have nowhere to go with that momentum.
This is an exciting battle for the 8th spot. 3 wide for some time. Velez is up there on the outside. Hackathorn and Teal. Everyone's treating each other with pretty good respect considering how tight this racing has been. I know we've had quite a few yellows tonight, but a lot of it pretty hard to avoid. Meanwhile, out front, a 1 second lead for the 46 of Hanshaw. Velez is rebounding nicely. Got a lot of damage on that 48 truck. Even though he's dropped from his original starting position, he's had a lot of adversity to work through tonight. There's a 65 and 48. They keep finding each other. 22 is short, got up the racetrack into the wall just a little bit. And we're going to be 3 wide almost for third, or fourth, excuse me. Johnny Thomas is pulled away in the third spot. Hanshaw, his lead is dwindled. Here's the battle for the lead, 0.3 of a second last time by. Wade Lear was just about a 1/10 of a second quicker.
Yeah, only problem is that Lear's got to find a way around Hanshaw. As we've seen, it's kind of hard to pass someone here. Usually you get the lane you want kind of blocked, so you got to maybe be a little bit physical, especially this late in the race.
15 laps to go, and it's going to be 14 now. And Lear is quicker, again, by a 1/10, but he's going to have to find a way around. That groove is dwindling up there in that high lane. For the time being, it's all sorted out. Meanwhile, in the back, it's anything but. Oh, wow! James Duke took a vicious impact with that right side into the Armco. Continues rolling, but that steering, it cannot be in good shape after that hit. Look at Hackathorn. And Sweeting, and look, Sweeting rolling around the outside of Crum again. I wonder how his, see if his feelings are hurt at all after that last caution. Looks like we're all behaving. And Travis Bennett is slipped back pretty far from that restart. A little bit closer to the front. Velez trying to chase down Lytle for 7th. Up front, the gap is 0.6 of a second. And they're running pretty even lap times there between Hanshaw and Lear. Synchronized drifting out of turn 2. Jordan Teal and Matt Hackathorn side by side. A little bit of contact there heading into the corner, and see if Teal is going to do a slide job. Yes, he does. Here comes Hackathorn back to the inside. 10 laps to go, and Hanshaw's got a 0.7 of a second lead. Caution is out, and it's James Duke in the 76. And it looks like he had a run-in with the 65 truck. Watching on the replay now. Here comes the 76. And the 65 dove to the inside, and 76 kind of drifted down. And again, that's just a driver's committed. And once he's committed, I mean, that's just a racing incident. Not a whole lot either driver could do to avoid that. 76 got in there a little bit hot. And slowed down, and the 65 is committed on that lower groove, and just contact was made. No real opportunity for the 65 to miss that.
Yeah, what this sets up is a nice short sprint to the finish, and Lear's got another shot at it. I was going to comment before the caution came out that that last lap they ran, they were separated by 0.3 of a second.
That's pretty dang close. Now, Hanshaw's best lap is a 22.648. Wade Lear's is a 22.853, so about 0.2 of a difference between their best laps. Now, that might not matter so much on worn tires and fuel that is dwindling, but I think it's fair to say that Hanshaw has had the upper edge for most of this race and led a lot of laps here tonight. But Wade Lear been just up here, definitely not in the winning conversation from the get-go. He's worked his way up here, been very quiet and persistent, and has worked his way into second. He's going to start in the outside groove. If he can get a decent restart, definitely a threat to win this race. And look at Peter Short, right there in the outside groove in fourth, and also Johnny Thomas, always present here on the dirt tracks, in third. He's going to have a shot at it as well. So we're going to restart with 6 laps to go, and do not turn away now. This is going to be a great sprint to the finish here, Finian.
Yeah, definitely. And really quick before we go green, shout out to Thomas Morris. He's up in 6th position, so nice to see that 27 up there.
He has had one heck of a day. A lot of adversity for a lot of drivers. I mean, these trucks are built pretty tough, and they've had to endure a lot today. I don't think there's a single truck out there without damage. Well, the 46 looks pretty clean. And it might not be for long. Green flag back in the air here at Knoxville. 6 laps to go here in the Nathan Young Designs Truck Series race at Knoxville. A spectacular restart. Go ahead there, Finia.
Yeah, Lear really didn't get that good of a restart, and he might pay the price here as Johnny Thomas is coming out the inside. Ooh, heavy contact into the wall.
Lots of drivers in the wall, lots of contact. And oh, Wade Lear's up against the wall. He's going to lose lots of spots now. Back to 5th for Lear. 5 laps to go. Cars are scattered all over the racetrack. Look at Peter Short to the inside of Johnny Thomas. I get them mixed up all the time. Johnny Thomas is on the outside trying to defend for that 2nd spot, but Hanshaw's running away with 5 laps to go.
Yeah, this is ideal for Hanshaw right now. He's just gotta hit his marks, and he should be able to get away with this, unless he makes a mistake. But yeah, Peter Short working all over Johnny Thomas, just can't find a way around.
Short is driving the wheels off that truck to get this thing around for 2nd. Can't quite do it though. There's Thomas Morris in the 27, slow on the inside to stay out of the way. 3 laps to go now. Watching the battle for 2nd. Oh, the 22 gets in hot. Sliding on the exit of the corner. He's going to look to the outside now. Can he get up there? 83 runs the block. Here comes...
yeah, we haven't seen the 22 shy of bumpers, so we'll see if he'll get physical there.
And look at Paul Ross looking to take advantage. These guys get into it with each other. Here comes the 22 to the inside. He's got a great run now. Johnny Thomas is going to roll that outside lane, and the 22 is going to slide jump and clear him. 2 laps to go now. Spectacular racing by Peter Short. What a great job that pass was. And caution is out. Race is over. It's Kurt Crum in the wall, but it doesn't matter. It's over. Kyle Hanshaw wins at Knoxville for the 8th round of the 2018 Nathan Young Designs Truck Series here at Knoxville. Wow. And Peter Short coming home in 2nd. A spectacular late race slide job on Johnny Thomas. What a move that was. The checkered flag is out. And that means that the winner of this race is the 46 of Kyle Hanshaw in that Toyota Tundra. Peter Short, Johnny Thomas, Paul Ross, and Matt Hackathorn. Matt Hackathorn rebounds for a top 5. Started 10th, worked his way up into 5th. Then Wade Lear, Nathan Velez. A great rebound for him as well. Jordan Teal, Chuck Sweeting, Todd Smith. He rounds out your top 10. Wow, Finian, that was one heck of a race. And
yeah, great action, great driving by everyone out there. It was an amazing race.
I don't think Kyle Hanshaw has a scratch on that truck. Well, almost got one from Tate Lytle there, but...
yeah, he got some, after the checkered flag, some congratulatory bumps by some guys.
He's going to go do some burnouts down there on the front straight. But well-earned burnouts indeed for that number 46. A spectacular race. I don't have the data on how many laps he led, but he sure led a lot of them. You watch him celebrate now on the front straight of Knoxville Raceway. Victorious here after a 100-lap battle, and he had to withstand several late race restarts from Wade Lear, who was ultimately going to finish 6th, and that's exactly where he started. So Wade Lear probably a little salty that ended the way it did. So congratulations to Kyle Hanshaw. We're going to go to break for just a couple minutes. We're going to get ourselves sorted out, and we'll be right back with some interviews. Welcome back to SimTV at Knoxville Raceway. We're here with your race winner, Kyle Hanshaw, the driver of the number 46 Toyota. Kyle, what a spectacular race. Dominant performance, first of all, but you said it was a little nerve-wracking out there, and some fuel strategy playing out that we weren't even aware of. So tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, it was definitely one of the most nerve-wracking dirt races I've been a part of in three wide. Um, I think with that, if that last caution didn't come out, I know that I would have ran out, and was talking with about three or four other guys that were racing, and they would have ran out as well. I think Wade Lear was, I think, about 7 to 10 laps to the good, so he was going all out. And I don't know what happened to him back there on that last restart, but yeah, it was definitely a wild one, and you had to be very disciplined with the throttle.
Tell us a lot about those late race restarts. You had to survive at least 3 of them to come home victorious tonight, and you were just so good on those restarts. What's your secret, if you'll tell us?
There's really no secret. I just first corner on restarts is the key to basically making your passes and all that. But everybody just wants to drive real hard into the first turn on restarts because they're anxious to pass everybody. But yeah, I just take it easy and let it coast through and be smooth, and then that's where I, make up on the restarts and starts.
Well, it was a spectacular performance, Kyle, and as we share our first name, I extend a special congratulations for getting the Kyles in victory lane. It's awesome to see, but a spectacular performance by you, and good luck in the next round, bud.
Thanks, guys. I appreciate it. I just got to give a shout out to you guys for doing the broadcast. I really enjoy you guys. You guys do a heck of a job up there. And 3WideRacing, Corey for putting on the league. And I got my home track on my truck tonight, Sharon Speedway. So that was pretty cool. And I got to give a shout out to all the people that watch me: Chaz, my girlfriend Jess, Chance, my cousin. And yeah, it was a pretty good night. I was pretty happy.
Excellent. Well, thanks for talking to us, Kyle. We'll see you later.
Thanks, guys.
All right, so Finian's going to go grab me, Peter Short, driver number 22, Kansas City Southern truck. And there he is, Peter Short. Wow, what a night for you. You were all over the place, back, forward, battling tightly, but ended up in a P2 finish. Tell us about your race.
Yeah, it was a good race for the Kansas City Southern Toyota Tundra. We went out there, won the heat. I felt like we had an absolute fantastic car in the heat. We found a groove, and we ran down Kurt from a long ways back, and we were able to get around him with about 5 laps to go. And was hoping I could do something similar there in the feature, but the feature was interesting because we had a big question mark of fuel. I ended up with enough fuel left that I think if we hadn't have gotten the last 2 cautions, I would have just made it, and I don't think either Johnny or Hanshaw would have been able to make it if we didn't get those last 2 cautions. So I kind of put myself into a position, I thought, to potentially squeak out a win on fuel mileage there at the end. But all in all, it was a lot of fun. I wish we could have gone heads up for the entire thing. I really do, because I think Hanshaw, Johnny, and I all had very similar pace, and when we were able to race side by side with each other, it was a lot of fun. And I hope we get to do some more dirt stuff because it is so much fun. And these trucks, they don't handle the dirt very well, but it's enough. There's enough fender on these things where you can beat and bang. So I think there was a period, I think coming out of the second to last restart, when I think we had about 4 cars in the wall on the backstretch. So hopefully we put on a good show for you guys.
It was spectacular to watch. And Peter, I want to talk to you a little bit about the restarts. It looked like the inside lane was really, really hard to get going on that, but you persevered at the end. So tell us a little bit about how you came back from that, because you lost a couple spots on a few of those restarts.
Yeah, towards the end of the race, the inside groove was just so slick. Couldn't really get the power down, and on entry into the corner, it was so slick that you didn't have much room to pitch your car if you had a car to the outside of you, especially on the restart. So it made it really difficult to A, get the car pitched, and B, because you couldn't get the car pitched, it just pushed the front end and you'd slide up into the car next to you. So in order to not do that, you'd have to roll out of it a little bit more and hope for a good run up off, or maybe the outside car have a little bit of an issue. And we're able to just get some a clear call from the spotter and jump back into the other line and kind of do our best to make it work. It's one of the most fun things about dirt racing is you can undercut and well, not undercut, but do like the over under and slide jobs and all that stuff. So we were able to come home with second. So we did something right.
Awesome. Well, thanks for talking to us, Peter, and have a good night and a good points night for you. So we hope to see you in the next round.
All right. Thanks, guys.
All right. So now we're with our third place driver, the driver number 83, Johnny Thomas. Johnny, that was one heck of a race from you, and you had a heck of a truck tonight. Tell us about your race and how you ended up P3.
Yeah, hey guys. It was a eventful night. I'm sure you've already heard about the fuel and stuff. I couldn't ever go. I couldn't ever put it 100%. I thought I had a car that could have won the race. I wanted to go 2 for 2 in the dirt, but come away with the third place finish. I got a lot of points, and it was a good points day. But it was just the fuel. The fuel mileage was a tough deal. If we didn't get that caution with about 10 to go, I wouldn't have made it. I know Wade was doing really good. He had tons of fuel left in the bag, so I just didn't do a good job at saving fuel early on because I really didn't think that would have been a problem because it wasn't a problem at Eldora. But I don't know, just you test and learn. This is our second race in dirt, so we'll learn from that. Maybe reduce the laps next time we come here. But first, I'm really happy that Hanshaw won. That's really cool to see him get his first win in 3-wide, his first kind of oval win in 3-wide. So I'm really pumped for him. I'm super excited to see him get a win. So to come away with third place, it's good. I wish I would have finished 1-2 with him, but I had a good run.
You certainly did. And Johnny, I want to talk a little bit about the grooves changing a little bit because they definitely changed. Probably maybe the groove slid up towards the wall a little bit towards the end of the race. But how did that affect the lines that you had to take towards the end when you had to battle Hanshaw and Short for those top spots?
It was tough, especially early on because you didn't know when that high groove was going to come in. The bottom groove was the preferred lane for most of the race, but then every once in a while you'd see a car behind you catching up, and he'd be running that middle lane, so you'd have to venture up. And it was kind of whoever decided to go up there first, whenever the groove was ready to be raced on, was the guy that was going to make time. And you saw in the heat, Peter did it, and he flew away from the pack. And this time around, it was kind of even. The main, you could kind of dive it down the bottom, and it would stick a little bit. But once we got about 30 to go, that top lane was the preferred lane, and I think Hanshaw did a good job at it. And I know Peter was saving. If Peter wasn't saving, he'd be right on my butt probably the whole race. Maybe it would have passed me and Hanshaw. But I thought the lanes were a little bit better than Eldora. Eldora was the top lane the whole way around. This track, you could go to the bottom and work it for a little bit.
All right, Johnny. Well, congratulations on your third place finish. Great points night for you. So you take that 83 up in the point standings a little bit. So congratulations on that, and we'll see you in the next race.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Thanks for working overtime here tonight.
No problem. Thank you very much. Have a good night.
Yep.
All right, next in the bullpen, it's the driver of the number 03, Wade Lear. Wade, that tonight was a wild one for you, and we didn't really take much note of you. You were kind of just hanging there in the top 5, and then all of a sudden you're up there battling for the win, and a late race restart cost you your chance at it. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, like early on in the race, I was just trying to be patient, buy my time, save a little, and just trying to save fuel like while I can. Then I found a groove about halfway through the race, just about middle of the racetrack, and it was working really well for me, and I was able to get past a couple of those guys as they were trying to save fuel during the run. And I felt like I was good on fuel about halfway through. I felt I was like a gallon and a half more than most of my teammates, so I felt like I was pretty good on fuel. So I was pushing a little bit harder there towards the end of that race than a lot of the other people. And then, like you said, the late race caution got in the wall. I mean,
yeah, we were watching you and that when you got into the wall there. But is there a positive to take away from tonight? Because you started 6th and you finished 6th. So I mean, 6th is not a bad place to end the race. And considering you started there, maybe a little bit frustrating. But are you happy with your finish? Because I think it was fun to watch you.
But definitely, I am happy with the finish. I think it was all around it was positive for all of Johnny Thomas Racing. We were all competitive. We were all fast. So look forward to next week, and hopefully we can continue on the being fast as a team.
All right, excellent, Wade. Thanks for talking to us. Congrats on the 6th place finish, and we'll hopefully talk to you in a couple weeks. Thanks for talking with us. Have a good night.
Yep. So you too. Thank you.
All right, Phineas, that is going to wrap our interviewing up here this evening. So we want to thank those guys, the podium, and Wade Lear for talking to us at the end of this one. So, Phineas, just to wrap this one up, a wild race here at Knoxville. Lots of carnage, but also some spectacular racing with changing grooves. We had a little bit of the cushion come into effect, but Kyle Hanshaw getting his first win for the 3Wide Racing League. That was a great race.
Yeah, definitely. Really entertaining, and I think that's really shown the dirt races have been really entertaining. Not that the normal races are boring, but a heck of a show.
Absolutely. So it is 12:46 a.m. here on the East Coast. I got to eat dinner after working my 6-hour shift, so we're going to wrap this one up here in just a second. But we want to thank you for watching. If you're watching and you're not subscribed, please do. It's all sim racing content. Y'all love it. If you drop a like of the video, it helps us out a ton. I know you hear it 1,000 times a day from 1,000 different YouTubers, but helps us out a bunch towards working our way towards 100 subscribers too. We're close, and we're going to hopefully work our way up the sim racing broadcasting ladder. We want to thank you guys, especially for the 3Wide group, for being a significant part of our growth as a channel. It has been spectacular. We're a pretty new group. We started in February with the Scars guys for their Ferrari Challenge and Audi Cup, and I cannot imagine how far it's come in just a couple months. So thanks to everybody, and thank you, special thanks to Finian for doing all my cameras for me. Spectacular stuff, Finian, and also doing a lot of the intro content that you see every week here on this channel. So, all right, Finian, I think that's it for us tonight. What do you think?
Yep, I think that's all she wrote.
All right. So, from SimTV, I'm Kyle Heyer here with Finian DeCuna. We'll be with you next week. Actually, we're here on Tuesday night with the Scars GRC here at about 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. So be with us. Be there or be square. 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time, Scars GRC, and join it if you're not doing anything, because it is open to all, and it'll be in the open hosted section there. I don't know what track we're at this week, but it'll be a fun one. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you for the next race. Have a good night.